Welcome to the Destiny Awakening Interviews, a podcast with Andrew Wayfinder and his guests, bringing you powerful insights, inspiration, and ways to break free, live life your way, and make a difference in our changing and challenging world.
So, hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to another edition of the Destiny Awakening Interviews. I'm Andrew Wayfinder Renievich, and I'm joined today by Lena Nasserdeen. I hope I didn't mangle that. TEDx speaker, professor, author, CEO, leadership, and confidence coach. So a very warm welcome to you, Neda. And where are you hanging out today?
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here, Andrew. I am in sunny Southern California, in Orange County. You can see the sun is shining in on me.
Oh, we hate you.
So that's where I'm at. Happy to tune in here today.
Okay, great. So Lena is the founder and CEO of Rise Up For You, an educational and motivational company that focuses on enhancing company culture and personal development by developing the interpersonal, emotional, and social skills needed to be successful in today's world. She's the author of Rise Up For You, Closing the Gap Between You and Your Potential. She's taught at the college level for 10 years, toured the world as a singer, and worked with companies like CBS, LA Fitness, Google Next 19, and many more. So thank you, Neda. I'm really messing this up because I had a girlfriend whose name was Nada. Netta, that's right. It's Netta.
Netta, yes.
For your time today. And today we're going to be talking about emotional intelligence. And Neda is going to unpack that idea for us by answering 6 questions. First one, who is your ideal client and what's the transformation you help them achieve?
Yeah, so our ideal client, we really have 2, is any kind of corporation really that is having any challenges that have to do with their people. Which company isn't, right? Which company doesn't? So that's communication challenges, that's diversity, equity, and inclusion, leadership while working remotely, really looking to advance and engage their team so that their company as a whole can really grow and build that positive company culture and well-being. So that's the first side. The second side is just the individual. It's the individual that's looking to push themselves and get to that next level. They've already achieved some level of success, but they understand that career confidence, that leadership capability, that business strategy is going to push them beyond their blind spots to that next level of potential.
Sort of reminds me of that scene in Jaws where they finally see the shark and go, oh, we're going to need a bigger boat.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when they come to you, what's the biggest challenge they're facing?
So if we're talking about a corporation specifically, there's a lack of engagement, high employee turnover, or they just see like a lack of motivation and maybe not as positive as a company culture as they would like, right? People aren't autopilot. There's stress that's happening. Leaders aren't, and when I say leaders, not all of them, some of them aren't leading their team in the best possible way for optimization when it comes to performance. And so these are really some of the biggest challenges that we see. Currently, right now, it's diversity, equity, and inclusion. And it's emotional intelligence. So helping the team manage stress during COVID, helping the team understand and build self-awareness, manage their emotions, and then be able to show empathy, coach, and mentor others.
Okay. And in that context, question number 3, what would be your number 1 insight to share with people who are struggling with these issues right now?
They have to spend more than one 90-minute training on it. The biggest thing is that, my company, Rise Up For You, we work with companies around the world and people around the world on soft skills. That's really what these are. These are all the skills that you're not going to learn in a book. They're not your technical skills. But the challenge is that, we're too used to doing a 90-minute leadership training or a 90-minute training on DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, or a 90-minute training on EQ. But the reality is that if we really want to make positive shifts in our behaviors so that we can enhance the workplace and our personal life, we need to have repetition. We need to have consistency. We need to have a system around our people that's going to start at 3 months on.
Okay. So question number 4, in your experience, what concept, book, program, talk has been most impactful in developing who you are and how you work with people?
Yeah. So for me personally, there's a really great book called The New Earth by an author named Eckhart Tolle. And that's the book that I really like I send a lot of my leaders, I send that book because it's about ego. And really, in order to be a phenomenal leader, a phenomenal executive, a phenomenal leader in your own life for other people, for the community, you have to learn how to manage that ego. That's really what it comes down to. That's the only way that we can serve others. It's the only way that we can lead positively. We can coach, mentor, is understanding how to quiet the ego, shut it down, and remove it from situations so that we can move forward in a positive light with big picture.
Yeah, that reminds me of I was having this conversation a couple of days ago with another guest on what servant leadership really is.
Mm-hmm.
And he was sort of saying, it's not about being a doormat. It's about serving something that's much bigger than yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So question number 5, what free resource would you like to share with the audience to help them with these?
Yeah. So, since we talked about emotional intelligence, I'd love to give our emotional intelligence kit. It's totally free, but it's about 18 pages of what is emotional intelligence, what are the 18 competencies, what are the 4 pillars, and then a ton of practices that they can use right away, because we got to be able to make it tangible, right? We need to be able to apply it and to put it into practical strategy. So I'd love to give that. We can put it in the show notes, but just anyone listening, it's riseupforyou.com/EQ kit.
Okay, great. So question number 6, what should I have asked you that I didn't?
What the number one challenge is for professionals in the workspace.
So what is the number one challenge for professionals in the workspace?
Confidence. Confidence is the number one challenge for professionals in the workspace. In the last 6 months, we've assessed over 1,000 professionals. 82% of them said that their top challenge was confidence related. That's imposter syndrome. Yeah, it's big. Imposter syndrome, self-doubt, perfectionist mindset, not being able to make the ask, not being able to raise the hand, to speak up, to take risk, put their best foot forward, self-sabotage. So that's a big one. And it's really the first step to being, a great leader, to being, really stepping into our potential, is breaking down that confidence and understanding why we have some of the beliefs that we do about our own value.
Well, and that actually reminds me of, we have a problem here in the UK with a prime minister who's supremely confident, but terribly incompetent.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
Because he is so confident, he brings a lot of people along with his, not very good ideas.
Not possible. Yeah. The research is showing that 80% is confidence that's going to get you the job. The other 20% is, technique doesn't matter. At some point, everybody has the same amount of competency, right? If I have 2, technical engineers or senior engineers in the room and they have the same resume, at the end of the day, it's the technique is mundane. It's like, now who's the person that has the confidence, that can make the ask, that can speak up, that has presence. So that's really what trumps.
Yeah. Well, I had a boss who used to say, you hire for attitude because skills can be developed.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, that's perfect, Neta.
There you go, really, Neta. Third time the charm.
I'm really stuck here. Thank you so much for your time today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Andrew.
Thanks for listening to the Destiny Awakening interviews. If you have a friend who would benefit, please share and subscribe to the show on iTunes and leave a review. We really appreciate it. And remember, always use your power for good.